I remember reading about the Eclipse in Top Gear magazine when I was young. It was my dream car back then. And then I saw Paul Walker's lime green Eclipse in the first Fast and the Furious movie, and I wanted to have one even more. It took a while, but I now finally own one. Let me give you a tour. Okay, this is Malorie. She's my second generation Mitsubishi Eclipse. I've had her for about 2 months now. She has about 70,000 kilometers on the auto. That is about 43,000 miles, which is believable. The previous owner was a young female doctor, and she had a newer car, so this one was barely being used. When I first saw the car, the paint was in pretty bad condition. There were watermarks, there were stains, there were swirls. It just wasn't very glossy. But I could see that the clear coat wasn't peeling off yet, so I thought that I could restore it by buffing it. And luckily I was correct. Check out the before and after photos. Not a single panel has been repainted, and now she looks glossy. Mechanically, it is also in pretty good condition. There were a few minor leaks, but other than that, it ran pretty well. Let me show you around the engine bay. As you can see, the engine bay has been spruced up a bit. I was just gonna paint the valve cover, but I got a bit trigger happy. So I painted the radiator and a bunch of other parts. Malorie right here has a 4G63T engine, which is the same engine that powers the Evo, from the Evo 3 all the way to the Evo 9. It's a 4-cylinder, 2-liter turbocharged engine, which produces 210 horsepower. To put that into perspective, it produces slightly more horsepower than the GT86. Okay, so the focus right now is to make the car mechanically sound and to make it look good. As for the maintenance, I've replaced the valve cover gasket, I've changed the oil, I replaced the fuel filter, I replaced the front shocks, I replaced the brake pads, I replaced some of the O-rings and washers on the power steering because it was leaking. I also replaced the front engine support. Okay, as for aesthetics, I buffed the car and I installed lowering springs. It's still setting a bit too high for my taste. I might lower it a little bit more. This isn't my daily driver. I have a Montero for that purpose, so practicality isn't really a top priority. As for future mods, I definitely want to change the wheels. I want to go for 18s, mostly for looks. Okay, as for performance mods, the car currently has a Greddy blow-off valve, it has an HKS muffler, it has a front-mounted intercooler, but other than that, it's mostly stock. It still has its stock airbox, which I definitely plan to replace, and then maybe I'll do a catback exhaust, but I'm not planning anything too drastic as far as performance goes. Well, maybe. We'll see in the future. the interior of my Eclipse. It has some very minor mods. It has a boost gauge. It has a turbo timer. And then it has these carbon fiber accents. There's this limited edition CDR King holder, which is very expensive. The dashboard layout is very driver centric. This entire part of the dashboard is angled towards the driver. You feel like you're in a cockpit. And then also, if you notice, the leftmost and the rightmost air vents are on the door cards, which is good because it can actually blow air towards your face or towards your body without hitting your hands first. Over here is a cup holder, a very tiny cup holder, and then this is an ashtray, and then underneath the armrest is another cup holder, which is removable. Storage is quite shallow. Okay, these are seat covers. The car has fabric seats underneath, same material as this. And then dual airbags. The roofline is very low on this car, so my headroom is just okay. If I were slightly taller, I'd probably hit my head on the roof. Also, if I were to look out the window, I'd hit my head on the roofline, like this. It has manual air conditioning. It has power side mirrors. This is the button for the fog lamps. This vehicle has 72,000 kilometers on the auto. It is surprisingly fuel efficient. I mean, if you don't drive it like a maniac. A reasonably sized glove box. Okay, like I said, the roofline is pretty low, and your view at the front is very narrow. If you pull down the visors, you can barely see anything. But 360 visibility is not so bad. I can actually touch the rear window glass. Rear passenger space is very limited. I mean, the knee room is acceptable by coupe standards, but the roofline is very low. You'll hit your head on the window if you sit back, if you're over 5'4". Aftermarket stereo. You have a rear wiper. Also, because this is a coupe, the door is pretty long, so if you're not used to it, there's a good chance that you'll hit the car parked next to you, so you also have to be mindful of that. It's very long. Also, one thing that I don't like about this is that the seat belt is pretty far behind you, and to reach it you'll have to be quite flexible. The windows are pillarless, frameless. As you can see, this is just glass. Malorie has an automatic transmission, which may be a letdown for some. Honestly, I was also looking for a manual, but I got a really good deal on this. Also, automatics have their own advantages, especially for a turbo car. If you're planning to just go fast on a straight line, automatics can actually be faster because you can shift gears without losing boost, unlike on a manual where you lose boost every time you shift. Also, automatics have a torque multiplying effect, so automatics actually have more torque than manuals. So for drag racing, or if you just want to do quick pulls, automatics can actually be better. But if you want to track the car, definitely get the manual. I have no intentions of tracking the car as of now, so I don't really mind this.
Nakita ko kung may bilis.
Anyway, that's your tour of my current project car. If you want to see more content like this, do let me know. Also, if you have suggestions about the build, please type them in the comments. I just surpassed 6,000 subscribers. To everyone who subscribed, thank you very much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider clicking on that subscribe button below. Anyway, see you on the next video.